what is on tap is retraining your mind and your patterns to actually create field fidelity. And, often this is, I work with geometry. Geometry works for me, but I was just talking with a client the other day about, especially during retrograde periods, we'll find that we lean heavy on that left brain, the reptilian brain, to find resolutions. And that's been taught to us in the West and all over the world, really. We have a history of authority suppressing our consciousness. So this is a time of remembering all of the energies that have been acting upon us with our thought forms and our view of our potential. And we're awakening from that. It's a great time to be here, in my view, because there's so much awakening. But with that comes the awakening to the stinking thinking and the old patterns, to reach out for new ways of building field fidelity in your hologram, in your quantum field. So, for example, something I'm seeing is a lot of collapsing around having faith and trust in outcomes. The negaholic thoughts will come in worrying about how things will play out. And in my mentoring, what I do is, helping you to develop your own field of light, rather than outsourcing it to others. And understanding that you're a personal energy system, and nourishing yourself through practices and applications, just a learning of how to shift those patterns in your life. It's about building confidence from the inside out. So an example of that would be when you're seeing repeating patterns and you're collapsing into fear and worry around that. What I would suggest to you is that you think of this again as like a triangle, creating the triangle, which is very stable geometry. It follows the 369 principles of Tesla and the universal encoding. The universe runs on 369 energy. And so the triangle is the basic form of that. And when you're working with stabilizing the thought, a thought around that would be, I am going to learn to create triangular thinking of flow and balance before the evidence is shown to me. That's a biggie. Because the left brain will start revving up in fear and overanalyzing, whereas the higher mind is build your field. So that's where you're creating, I'm going to learn to trust in outcomes before the evidence is shown to me. Now that is some energy mastery right there. That's a building block of field fidelity. The field fragmentation is scattering your energy out there, looking desperately for some resolution. But the answer is the resolution lives within you. And, your light is your birthright. And, if you're feeling you need some help with that, that's what I do in my coaching and mentoring sessions. I don't want you to come for my light. I want you to come to build your own light and your own field fidelity coherent system, and sustaining that and learning how to sustain that. But for today, think about the triangle, and that is about trust and learning to surrender into trust while you're thinking about the resolution, the outcome will be shown to me when the timing is right. And that's even trusting in the timing too. And it may be very different than that reptilian brain trying to analyze and get into that overthinking. It's where you're moving into more of a state of stillness and holding your field in a state of coherence and learning to build trust through form and structure that the outcome will be shown to you. That's very different than continuing to look out there. It works, I practice this. I teach my clients how to practice this and other things, but take that with you. Take that with you, especially during retrogrades where there can be a reviewing and sometimes a falling into too much of that overthinking. Okay? If you're interested in some of that, the links are always below. Take good care.